Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Well, the Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi home has been a frequent subject of protests from Nancy Pelosi's time of going to the hair salon during COVID lockdowns, especially with harsh lockdowns in San Francisco, leading protesters to hang hair dryers on the tree outside of her home, protesting her violating essentially her own COVID lockdowns, to in January of 2021, us seeing a severed pig head with a red liquid symbolizing blood spread over the driveway of the Pelosi property in San Francisco, with spray painted $2,000 cancel rent and we want everything, in a reference to, of course, with an anarchist logo here. With At the same time as we were essentially having negotiations over the next stimulus package leading into the Biden administration, and $2,000 checks essentially. So this is probably being a reference to $2,000 stimulus checks and cancel rent and everything being demanded essentially of the Pelosi's. Well, now we hear that as of about 2:27 a.m. this morning, there was a police welfare check call, which was probably because a neighbor heard some form of disturbance. We're not exactly sure who called the police, but apparently police were dispatched around 2:27 a.m. this morning to Nancy Pelosi's house. And when they got there, they didn't find Nancy Pelosi there. Apparently, instead, there was some suspect screaming, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" and fighting Paul Pelosi, as both of them apparently were holding a hammer, or there was one hammer, and at one point each of them had been holding it, and they're basically whacking each other with a hammer. Paul Pelosi and the suspect are both in the hospital. Apparently, the suspect broke in through the back door of the property. Police actually arrived as the attack was happening, thankfully, for a quick response there. But Paul Pelosi is now in the hospital undergoing brain surgery. Now, likely related, obviously, to this attack. It was previously reported that he had severe and extreme bruising and swelling. It wouldn't, and I'm certainly no medical expert, but it wouldn't surprise me if there is some sort of fluid buildup in the brain cavity, leading to increased pressure up there, which could cause brain damage. And so brain surgery, or basically head surgery, could be a way of relieving some of that pressure. The suspect apparently is a 42-year-old named David DePepe, and no clear motive here other than the potential that he was specifically looking for Nancy Pelosi. Didn't look like any Capitol Police or real security was present at the time of the attack. That Nancy Pelosi was in Washington, D.C. at the time. She receives 24/7 Capitol Police surveillance and protection. However, apparently the Capitol Police do also have video of this attack, presumably some form of surveillance cameras, whether those are like Rings or Nest cameras that are put up. But apparently there is video of the attack. We don't have that. Nobody has that yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to surface, so we could get some more details as more of this comes out. Obviously, there has been footage as well of Paul Pelosi and the dash cam footage of his DUI arrest. He was arrested for DUI a few months ago after causing an accident. And not only causing an accident, but apparently blowing an over 8.1 or 8.2 on a breathalyzer about 2 hours after his being stopped, or actually being essentially detained here following the DUI accident. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty shocking, and it doesn't surprise me on one hand that this happened in San Francisco. San Francisco has become quite lawless, as well as some other big cities around the country. But it's really sad that here we are in California, the fifth largest economy in the world, and we really have such lawlessness in the state. We're ranked 40th in schools in California, right? This is such an opportunity, I feel like, or we have had such an opportunity for California to really double down on proper policing, and properly funding the police, and properly educating society, so we can try to prevent this sort of violent extremism. Unfortunately, more of this is likely. I think a lot of it as well is driven by polarizing mainstream media that really creates a very strong us versus them environment. And it's quite terrible and horrific to see attacks like this, especially on individuals homes who are trying to serve America. It doesn't really matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't think anybody deserves to be attacked. I think everybody ultimately, hopefully, tries to do what they believe is the best, right? And then, of course, everybody has a different opinion of what is the best. And certainly there are some bad actors, but hopefully those are fewer rather than the norm. But boy, oh boy, some form of attack like this, a brutal attack, breaking into the back of a home in the middle of the night and then attacking Paul Pelosi, the husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, with a hammer. Quite scary. And really, when you hear that somebody's undergoing brain surgery, it's not good when you're 82 years old. So very devastating. The statement this morning released from the Nancy Pelosi office is that Paul is expected to make a full recovery, though that was also before we had an update that he was undergoing brain surgery. Again, I think that's probably due to swelling relief that needs to be conducted, maybe drainage or whatever. But terrible. Absolutely terrible, and so sad to hear it happen in California. But then again, it's almost expected in California at this point, with how lawless some of the large cities are becoming, whether it's Los Angeles or San Francisco. So quite terrible. Anyway, that's the update, and maybe at some point we'll see the video footage of it. If any of this makes you nervous, make sure to get life insurance at as little as 5 minutes by going to metkevin.com/life. Remember, you can Apple Pay or Android Pay for it. Thanks so much for watching, and best wishes to the recovery of Paul Pelosi. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks. Bye.